Do you ever think about any number of choices that you make in your life that even a slight one could be different, and who knows where you'd be right now? Like, if I hadn't picked the one school that I went to, I wouldn't have met my wife and wouldn't have my kids. Career-wise, when I think about where I'm at right now, how I got to where I was, I mean, it's a lot of hard work. It's a lot of things that you think back on and you're like, one, I don't know that I would want to do that again. Or how could I have possibly gotten through something like that? Sometimes it's really easy to pinpoint those turning points into like specific moments of things that happen. And now I've got this studio, which is a disaster right now. It's an absolute mess, going through a renovation. In the other side of the studio that you can't see, there's mics set up for an entire full band session. Not only do I have all of those, but I've got a whole wall full of microphones. And I remember the times where I didn't have enough microphones to do anything. I could record one thing at a time, and that's what I could do. The big change came for me when I got my first real nice microphone. It was this one, Miktek CV4. In countless videos for years and years on this channel, I have said is like one of the ultimate sleepers of microphones out there, period. I use a Miktek CV4 on my kick out and I'm loving it right now. Super underrated. Miktek is a company you don't hear very much about, but they sound great. Also the Miktek CV4. This is a tube condenser, and this was kind of my first nice microphone that I ever had. I use on vocals, I use it on kick drums, I use it on acoustic guitar. At the time, I could not tell you what was special about this. I don't know why I ended up with this one. Now, looking back, this is a very special microphone. At the time, more money than I had ever spent, or was willing to spend, really. And now, it's one in the collection. But it's hard to look at any other piece of gear, and there's mics that I use more than this now because of my collection, but this one started it all. It taught me how to record a vocal. It taught me how to use different polar patterns on a mic, on different sources, to make my room work the best that it could, because I literally started in a cinder block basement. And it's not a perfect mic, but my gosh, it literally started my career. We had the chance to go down to Nashville and actually go see Michael, the guy who started Miktek. While we were down there, we weren't really sure if we were gonna be able to catch up with him or not, but it was basically a friend of a friend, Chris Cookie Hoff, who continues to invite us out to go hang out with Sticks anytime they're anywhere close to where we are. One of the guitar techs on that tour, Scott Rotler, top 10 bald men in the United States. He shares his studio building with the headquarters for Miktek. His studio's upstairs and Miktek is downstairs. So trying to get in contact with Scott, he got us in contact with Mike, and it just worked out one day at the end of a day. One of the last days we were down there. We were hungry, we were exhausted, we were tired, but I was on a mission and I wanted to get this signed.
I'm not really a electronic engineer, but I know a lot about electronics because I've been doing this kind of since like the 80s, if not the late 70s. So when I had a vision for Miktek, you know, what I did is I knew about 5 great engineers that all were really good at a specific discipline, either capsule making, transformer design, circuit design. And actually, after we had the original prototypes, I went out and found 3 other analog engineers that I liked, and I asked them to check these circuits over. So it's not like I am a great engineer, but I know how to manage them. And when it came together, it was just so much better than we thought it was going to be.
So we got there, Mike showed us around the entire place, talked to us about the philosophy behind making these microphones, because a lot of these parts with Miktek are sourced from a lot of different locations. Mike will tell you, like, he's not a typical mic designer. He brings the team together. He's the guy who knows all the guys, which makes for a really interesting, consistent, repeatable microphone, which makes a whole lot of sense thinking back and how I was able to use this. I probably bought this 1 or 2 months after it came out, not on purpose. It's just how it worked out.
Would you mind signing this?
You don't want to ruin the value of the microphone.
I don't care.
I'll sign the back.
but he signed it for me. And it's stupid. I'll admit it. Like a Miktek CV4, it's not like it's in the world of microphones, a crazy, exuberantly expensive microphone. And even when I asked him to sign it, he didn't want to because he thought it would drop the value. Even offering, when I want to sell it, to give me another body to sell it with. It wasn't even about that. This thing afforded me so much in my career. And not that it's necessarily even about this mic in particular. This just happened to be the one that got me through it. This happened to be the one that I did all those first projects on, that got me to the next project, that got me to the next project, that got me to the next one. The strengths and weaknesses in this microphone taught me a lot about how to record the voice and how to be careful with it. Like, this one was special. This one's not going anywhere. This is kind of like, I don't know if trophy's the right word, but something that marks like a turning point in my life. And so I wanted it signed by at least one of the hands that had a part in creating this thing, which honestly is a super cool microphone. They still make them. You can still go pick them up today. You can buy them used on the used market. You can get them new. They're not expensive for what they are. Again, this is, I think this should go without saying, this is not a sponsored video. This is literally the mic I've owned the longest in my entire life. It has been beat to crap. Like, there are scratches all over this thing. I've had the grill replaced twice, but it's been put through the ringer, man. He was kind of embarrassed that I even wanted to go and film a video, and he didn't really want to talk about himself much. He just wanted to talk about others and how other people are using his microphones, which I totally dig. And that's something that I can relate to, like just wanting to make a good product that people want to use. And so I wanted to see where it came from, because it got me to so many places in my own career. I wanted to see where this came from and get it signed by the hands that made it. And to me, that was super special to be able to do that. And I'm not sure you could do that with like every mic brand out there. I mean, a lot of brands now are just super cool people. And I think that's the hard thing to remember about the music products industry. And I've gotten the chance to meet so many individuals just from sitting alone in a room talking to a camera, because there's some way for somebody to get their product in front of eyes that it otherwise wouldn't be in front of. And if it works itself into my workflow, then I'm happy to put it out there. Not every product is for everyone. And I think the thing I try to show is, here's this use case for this item. Here's how I found usefulness for it. It is asinine to think that any mic or any piece of gear would work for everyone. That's just not how anyone works. If we all worked exactly the same, the products industry would look very different. But that is not the case, thankfully. And it's easy to forget that those people making those products, designing those products, thinking about different use cases, they're musicians and engineers, and they want to make something that they're proud of. And most of the time, they are really cool people with really cool stories and really cool backgrounds who just found themselves making some product in the music industry. And most of the time, they are absolutely stoked to talk to you about it. I say in so many videos, man, the music industry is small, and the more people I get out there and meet, that is so much the case. So it's funny that like this mic for me, which started as kind of this one-man show, I wanted to be the one-stop shop for everything. I want to be the one who works with the artists and records and produces, and I also wanted to mix it, and I wanted to learn how to master. I want to do this, I want to do that. I want to figure out how every little piece of this works and do it well and offer all these things to my customers. And then going and talking to companies like Miktek, where they are small, maybe not necessarily like one man, one woman shows, but that same mentality of like, I just want to do it. I want to figure it out. I want to make this work. I want to make something that you're gonna love. That was really cool to go and get to talk to him and to kind of bring all this full circle. And this is weirdly like nostalgic for me, and like seeing where the business is now and where it came from a business in the basement of an apartment with cinder blocks, with a wall that I put up that I wasn't supposed to put up to create myself a space to work, to now like my own commercial building. I'm currently building another mix suite in here to do one of the next steps in the music industry for me. All these speakers out here, I don't think it's a secret anymore. I'm putting in an Atmos room because I want to learn it, just like I wanted to learn mixing and mastering and producing. Like, I want to do this. I wanted to do this. And I am super excited to see where it goes. If you guys dug this and you want to dig into another company that's like really small, doing really cool stuff, check out this video with the Vanguard V44S. We do a one mic song with this thing and it's a beast.